Hi, it's me. I wasn't planning on doing a video, but I had some frustrations going on. As you guys know, I do substitute teaching for the middle schools. Probably haven't mentioned this, but I work for two different districts and, a handful of schools because, I don't have a car, so I have to watch what schools I go to. I won't mention which district or which school, obviously, because can't really do that. But I had a frustrating situation two weeks ago, on Monday, 2 weeks ago, the week of Veterans Day. When you sub, that you're going to have students that try to make up rules and think, oh, okay, we're going to do whatever we want, there's no rules and it's a free day, and they forget that you're going to write a note, and if they're really bad, call security or talk to admin. 80% of the time the classes are tolerable. Here and there I do have to write some bad notes or whatever. That's what happens as a sub. I had an incident a couple weeks ago at one of the schools I go to, which is the closest school to me as far as from where I'm living. I thought I had a seventh grade class, and fortunately, the ASOP system, they don't always have the right grade levels. So I thought I had seventh grade, and unfortunately, it was eighth graders. I was like, okay, whatever. I had two groups of kids, and then a separate class. So I had the same group of kids twice, first and fourth, second and sixth. Um, the boys in both groups were just awful. The first group, throwing stuff, they didn't listen. They kept throwing stuff, whatever. The second group was throwing stuff, pounding on desk, on top and under the desk, throwing stuff, blasting music, barking, screaming, squirting water, stuff like that. So, of course, I tell them. And then the second period, when I had them, there was an aide who didn't do much. And I was an aide for 4 years, so I know what teachers' aides are supposed to do. So they just thought it was a free period. Like, no one did work. The girls were busy putting on makeup and taking selfies. The duck face ones, because that's still in for some reason, taking duck face selfies. Um, and they just weren't listening to me. It's like the more I said to stop, they did it more. So what happened was that I basically told both of these kids, I said, you should be ashamed of yourselves. I said, the way you're acting is disgusting. And I said, that's not cool to do that with a sub. I said, we're trying to help you out here. We don't deserve to be treated like that. And so the kids didn't care, of course. I said, well, I'll go to admin about it since you think it's funny. And both groups were like, they basically shrugged their shoulders like, and? So second period, I didn't know they did this. They were flicking the lights on and off because that's really mature to do that. And someone had called 911 from the phone. So I didn't know that had happened. So security came in during third period, which was my only decent class. And he's like, yeah, did someone call 911? And third period's like, what? And I said, probably second period. I said, I didn't know anyone called 911. He goes, yeah, someone called during the passing period. I said, yeah, they were flicking the lights on and off. He goes, oh, write in the note. Write in the note. Okay. So then during lunch, I found out, well, actually before then, third period had warned me. They said, hey, his sixth period's really, really bad. So I'm like, oh, great. So I go look, and sixth period is the same as second, the one who was causing the most chaos. Like I said, eating, blasting music, pounding on desks, throwing stuff across the classroom, whatever. So I called during lunch. I said, hey, listen, did you hear about the 911 call? Oh, here's the other thing. This particular district, they don't have security numbers. It's like discipline center or whatever. Other districts I've worked for, they have security number or even two numbers in case you can't get hold of the first security guard. That's how it should be. So anyway, I called discipline center, and they were like, oh yeah, no, I never heard about the 911 call. And I'm like, well, yeah, this class called 911. And I was like, I have them later on. I said, I need security to come to talk to them. They're talking about the 911 call. And I said, they're very rowdy. I said, okay, no problem. We'll send someone over. Sixth period comes, no one comes. I called twice during sixth period because, again, the kids are throwing stuff, screaming, barking, pounding on desk. I tell them to stop. They do it more. No one came. I got voicemail. And I left messages and no one came. So I eventually threw in the towel. I wasn't going to tell them more to stop, so I started writing my note. And three of the boys who were the biggest troublemakers, they saw that I was writing a note, so they kept whispering and pointing at me. They start coming up to my desk, and I'm playing dumb, like, oh, what time does school get out? I'm like, what school gets out? I say, get away from the desk. And then asking more and more stupid questions that don't make any sense. And obviously I have my note covered. And then they got annoyed that my note was covered. And then the little ringleader, he's like this at me. And I'm like, are they going to do something? So finally I was like, okay, finally the bell's going to ring. I don't know how I dealt with that for 55 minutes twice. I don't. Like I said, basically threw in the towel. They did whatever. I was writing my note. I wasn't going to repeat anything to them because I already told them the last group, I said they should be ashamed of themselves. And I said, I will go to admin about this. So the bell rings, they leave. So the three boys that were causing the most problems and a girl and another boy, they all of a sudden walked to the end of the classroom, the other side of the classroom. The bell rang, sixth period, for them to go home. I said, you guys need to leave because obviously I'm waiting for my Uber to come. They wouldn't leave. I said, you guys, you need to leave. They're slowly walking out of the classroom because, again, they're not going to listen to me. The third time I said, you guys, you need to leave now. I said, I have to catch a ride. So 3 of the kids left, and then one of the ringleader boys and another friend, the friend took out a camera and he starts posting for pictures. I said, leave now. Like I screamed, and I don't scream. And then the kid went, like, got her. They were trying to egg me on. So then when they left, I waited actually like 30 seconds or so because I didn't know what they were going to do. At certain points, I felt like, are they going to do something? Because these are 8th grade boys. They're a lot bigger than me. So then I was so rattled. I left my umbrella and my jacket. Like, really? I just hurried up and left. I didn't get a chance to talk to, I was going to talk to the secretary, but she was dealing with other things. So I hurried up and got home, and then I realized I left my jacket and my umbrella on the ride home. Then I called the next day and talked to the secretary, who was very kind, and she wrote down notes. She said, hey, I'll let admin know. A week and a half goes by, I don't hear anything. And then she basically said, there's not really a timeline. So what happens? I contact the district. Oh, boom. All of a sudden I get a call from admin. What do you know? 2 weeks later, when they find out, I went to the district about it. And so I was told basically that the kids were disciplined, parents were talked to, that both classes were talked to by admin, which I appreciate. But at the same time, it was almost being downplayed how bad the students were. It's like, oh, well, I don't really know them to be like that. And I'm like, well, that's what happened, though. I said, I've subbed on and off 9 years. I've had rude students, rude classes here and there. I said, I've only called security 4 times, and it's for lesser things. I said, this was like by far my worst subbing day in 9 years, on and off 9 years. He goes, oh, well, I've been here 6 years, and I've never seen a note like this. I said, I've never had a write note like this in 9 years. And I was like, but this is what happened, though. I said, we don't deserve to be disrespected. And it's like the subs are punching bags. Like, we're just supposed to bow down to the students and, do whatever they say. Like, the students are not in charge. We're in charge. And it's been very frustrating because, you have students coming in, yes, free day, and they say it right in front of you. And I say, excuse me, I said, it's not a free day. I said, that's rude that you're even saying that right in my face. They're like, oh. I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry, I remember being in school and having subs. And to be honest, I wasn't the most comfortable with subs because I don't know them. But I was never rude to any subs. I might have been uncomfortable, but that kind of comes with the territory. So yeah, basically, and then I told the one of the admin, I was like, listen, like I said, I was really baffled that no security came. I said, that's the bigger issue, is that security didn't come. And they said they were going to make changes to make sure there's a security number, which they need to do. And then he goes, I said, I'm like, do I even come back? And he goes, well, that's the beauty of subbing, that you can pick and choose whatever school you want to go to, so you don't have to come back here. You can go pick whatever grade. And I didn't like that response because it's like, your response should be, hey, we want you to come back. We want you to be comfortable here. Instead of saying, well, that's the beauty of it. And again, not to take that class. It's like, I lost income because of this. The next day I didn't work because I was traumatized. And then there were a couple of other times where the schools near me, they didn't have any openings, but that particular school did. And I wasn't comfortable going back. So there's been 3 times where I lost income. Like, that's income lost once again. And I'm already on limited income because I can only work a couple days a week. I was trying to squeeze in a 3rd day because we had Veterans Day. So I'm just saying this because sub teachers do not deserve disrespect. We're not less than. Obviously, I know about the teacher disrespect, but like, we're guests and we deserve to be respected. And I said, what if something did happen? I know he wants to defend those students, say, oh, I don't think they're threatening. I don't think they would have done anything. I said, what if something did happen? And then I call security. So how is that okay? And I repeated to him again, I said, I'm not new working with kids. I worked on and off in the schools, as a sub for 9 years. I worked in the schools since 2006. I absolutely know there's rude students, this and this, but he almost acted like the students at that school were almost angels. Oh, I've just never heard of notes like this. It's like, no, I've been there multiple times and there's been quite a few rude students. Again, subs were the punching bags. So I just wanted to say that story because that's what happened recently. I don't see myself going back to that school anytime soon. And that gives me even less limited options. And the thing is, I don't need a smart comment like, oh, well, that's the beauty of it. You can go to whatever school you want to go to. Instead of saying, hey, he did apologize for what happened. And again, he reiterated that the parents were talked to and the classes were talked to. But the thing is, I should have had something said to me, not I had to wait to contact the district for them to contact me. So, that's just unacceptable. I was even to the point where I don't want to keep subbing, but the thing is, this is what makes money right now. And that's why I do secondary school, because I have people saying, oh, why don't you do elementary school? That's the reason why. If I have an awful class, I only have them for 40 to 55 minutes. And I don't have to deal with them. Unlike that situation where I had them twice, that was awful. Like I said, I don't know how I got to those 55 minutes twice. I don't. So I just wanted to say that, and if you're a sub teacher or even teacher, you're doing disrespect, because I've heard a lot of disrespectful things from some of the teachers that I follow, I'm sorry. And parents, do better, because these kids, they're learning from home, or they're learning from their peers, or both. If kids are being disrespectful, that's probably because their parents are teaching them that. And it's inappropriate, and we're there doing the schools a favor. As a sub, we're doing the schools a favor. We should be getting thanked for helping out, not disrespected by students by them talking back to us. And I forgot to bring this up at the end of sixth period when the students threw a piece of candy at my face. How was that okay? Throwing a piece of candy at my face, really? But that's all I really got to say right now. I'm gonna have to make some decisions if I want to keep subbing or not. I'll let you know, because I'm glad I have this week off. It's just very frustrating. So that's all I have to say for now. Yeah. Please be respectful to the staff at any school, whether it's sub, teacher, aide, office worker. We're busting our butts for your kids, and we deserve respect. That's all I have to say.